I welcome you to come on a journey with me. I will be starting a new series where I do start to share my full journey, as I have found that through this crossroad of coronavirus, it has brought me to my knees and has brought me to 100% dependability on Jesus. So this might not be for everybody, but I cannot apologize for who I am. So understand, this will not be censored. It will be raw, and it will be unapologetically myself. So all I can say, if it's not for you, just keep swiping. Just keep swiping. Because understand, I'm going to take you through a journey where, yes, there was a lot of suffering, but not one moment during this journey was there a time where anger or questioning penetrated my heart. Instead, in the darkest moments, it turned into a complete devotion to the crucifixion of Christ, the passion through the rosary. And with the coronavirus, something happened. Something shook me up to a very low place. My foundation felt like it was a little bit unsturdy. And I questioned, I'm losing my vision, I'm losing my passion, I'm losing my interest, and I feel like I'm just trying to survive, as I feel like I am looking death in the eyes. And as I thought about that, even went as far as planning my last goodbyes. And not my last goodbyes, my last arrangements, right? So having those things ready for my family should something happen to me. It was like death was upon me. It was a dark time. It was a hard time. And it wasn't any better when I went through all the medical complications during coronavirus, from my hip dislocating to the total reverse shoulder replacement. And it wasn't just a shoulder replacement. It was a replacement with extreme pain and a slow healing that felt hopeless at times, like it was never going to happen and I was never going to get through it. And not only that, and then a life event happened that brought childhood trauma back to me. You see, I have a lot of coping skills, as I've dealt with that for many years, went to therapy for many years when I was younger to get through it and to get the skills I needed to overcome and to become a victor, not a victim. But you see, what do when a life event triggers that trauma again? And not only do you try to ignore it, but it comes to you in the form of a dream. How do you have coping skills in a dream? I don't know, but I will persevere, and I am armoring up to face that battle. For I fear not, for I know God is with me. For if God holds the world in his hands, he will hold and heal this moment as well. And so as I go through these dark places, I want you to know God led me to the story of Job, a study of Job. And he was requesting that I pray more. And in obedience, slowly, it was hard to be dedicated to reading, but I've been doing it. And it also led me to the chapter of Matthew. Because you have to understand, remember, there was the healing of my neck where it fused on its own. Don't be confused. I've been fused. Oh yeah. I mean, that's just the way it happens sometimes. You know that's me. And like I said, I'm unapologetically me. And even when I share these stories, I just can't contain myself, because that's who I am when I have the love of Christ inside me, and I know that he is asking me to share my story. So understand, he gives me Matthew, and it's chapter 7, verse 24, about you will build my church upon the rock. But in that, what he was telling me was this. He said, you know what? Though the storm of life may come, you will never falter if your faith is grounded and solid in me. And to me, that was him telling me, you have to pray. And even though all of these things have happened, you are still here because your faith has not faltered. Not that it wasn't difficult, because he doesn't say it's going to be easy, right? But he says, you will still be standing. And I said, but Lord, sometimes I feel like death was upon me. And he said, my daughter, you were not dead. You were only resting. And he told me this because in prayer he was telling me, and I was like, Lord, but you know, where do I go from here? Will I ever go back? Will I be able to physically go back to my job, or will I have to give it up? I still don't know the answer, but I fear not, because he said, even if the answer is no, understand it is only because I have something better for you from different resources. Those resources are flowing in. I've had a huge opportunity of someone that's willing to pay to further my education. So that's a different story. But oh yes, this is really happening. All at the same time. It is not a coincidence. This is how God speaks. He speaks loud and clear, and this is how he works. So if you're ever questioning, listen now, because he's probably talking to you too, and you think it's all in your head and all these coincidences happening. No, I'm telling you, it is God speaking to you. It is up to you if you open up your heart and listen to what he's saying. So here I am in a situation now where I don't know what's going to happen. So I kind of a little fear. What do I do now? Where do I go? I'm okay if I can't. I do accept that. I do. But what next? I don't feel like it's over. I don't feel like this was for nothing, because you have brought me to a place of healing, an atmosphere of healing. Cut it out. It's crazy. My neck, the whole neck thing. And now this treatment taking me from an inflammation level of 36 to 2, which is unheard of. Cut it out. I am in an atmosphere where I could speak the word remission for the first time. I've lived with this disease for 30 years. The first time in 30 years, this is the only drug that has ever done anything like this in my body. Yes, I still have to make sure my stomach's okay, but you know what? Like I said, I'm telling you this before I even know what's going to happen, because I trust God 100%, because he said, you were not dead. Get up. You were just resting. I said, but Lord, what was it all for? He says, your story is not for everyone. Your story is for your family. I said, what? He said, yes. He said, it is for your family and those people that you are deeply connected to. And I was so afraid to start talking about this and do this video. I'm like, God, Lord Jesus, they're going to think I'm crazy. But you know what? Go ahead, because I know he told me, because it was confirmed through a friend yesterday. Before I even told her what I was getting in prayer, she had told me my own story and what was told to me in prayer before I even got to tell her. That's what he just told me. So it was confirmation. So I know that I'm supposed to tell this story for my family. And he said, Nina, get up. So what, Lord? He said, get up. Get up for your daughter. Get up for your mother. Get up for your aunt. Get up for your sister. Get up for your family. Because they have to see the Spirit again arise in you. They have to see your fight come back. They have to see your passion come back. They have to see your light come back. Because in that you will break, not I will break. In that, generational curses will be broken by the power of God. The generational curse of the lies of the devil, the generational curse of depression, anxiety, the generational curse of cancer, of hopelessness, of divorce, of abuse. It's got to go. It's got to go. Don't you know? Woo, feel a little jiggle, and I want to wiggle with that jiggle. Oh yeah, I mean, it is just happening because the Holy Spirit is here. I am in no doubt. The opportunities that are coming my way, I have a partner that also has the same vision as I do, and I don't know what it means for the future. I don't know if it adds on to the career I have or if it's completely separate, but I do have a path of where I'm going, and I know what it entails. I just have to get to work and figure out all the pieces, but I know that they're going to come together 100% positive. I'm telling you before it has even happened. I'm speaking it into existence because I know it's meant to be. I know what God told me, and he said, get up, Nina, get up. The people that are closely connected to you need to see that God still does miracles. They need to see his power. I am a miracle, and I know, I cannot tell you, but I feel diseases left. And whether it be for a moment and they say my tummy's messed up and I got to get off the medicine, I got a taste of it for the first time in 30 years, what it feels like to have no pain. It's ridiculous. It's insane. And I just kept hearing, you were not dead. You were just resting. So that's it. Yes, I'm bringing it hard. And it is going to be a series because there is so much more that God told me. But they're all different stories for all different videos, for all different moments and all different times. I don't know who this one's for, but I know it had to be said. So in obedience, because when God tells me and speaks to my heart, it has to be done now at that moment, because if I let that moment pass, I lose it and I don't remember what I was supposed to say. So this video is actually flowing really easy. So I know whatever was said was meant to be said just like that. This is my first take. Usually I take like a lot. So I'm going to go with it, and I'm going to leave it with the original because I am the unstoppable RA warrior. Oh yeah, because never forget, and that's what God told me. He said, even in your sickness, never forget, it was my crown that you always wore, for you are the king's daughter. Special effects. God bless. Good night. Stay tuned. And for those of you that will go on this journey with me, may God bless you, touch you, and speak to you. And remember, He does do miracles, and His power